Alright, so welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at, obviously, my remix for Aries's conversation remix context. I'm going to break down each of the layers, each of the sounds, my thought process, how I made them, and how it all came together. So, getting right into it, we obviously have the a cappella that is pitched down 3 semitones. So the original is actually a bit higher, but we have it. I pitched it down 3 semitones. Because one, I liked it how it sounded, and knowing it was a remix competition, I wanted it to be a little bit different because the judges are going to be hearing this a cappella over and over and over and over again, and most people are not going to touch it. So I thought, I'm not very good at vocal chops or anything like that yet, so I thought the best thing and the easiest thing to do is to pitch it up or down. So I pitched it down, and the other main reason why I pitched it down is to bring it closer to this guitar melody. And this guitar melody was originally in D major, but I pitched it up 2 semitones. And I pitched it up, and it sounds like this. And I have a bunch of effects. So in the beginning, it's very mono. So what that means is generally you're listening on headphones or even on phones these days. There are 2 speakers, and stereo separation just means that it plays the sound separately, independently on the speakers. So mono just means it's playing the same thing on both speakers, but stereo is like widening the sound. So in the beginning I have it very mono, very in the middle, and then as we get into the chorus, it spreads out. And this EQ here is just is low passing. This EQ here is low passing, so as the automation clip goes up, so does the band, and it goes from this thin sort of muffled sound into like the full sound as it opens up in the beginning. So you can see it's going up and up and up, and you can hear it sort of widening. And then this gross beat here is just an effect. It's got half speed on it, so it basically halves the speed, and it also pitches it down, so it sounds like this. So it goes from this to this. And I just thought it had a cool effect of like slowing it down and sort of like, see, most good tracks are like a roller coaster, and for it to go up and for it to be really high and really full of energy, you have to bring the energy down. And I did this right before the last chorus, and I did a few other things as well to accentuate this last chorus that we'll get into later, but this is just another thing we were bringing it up from the beginning. It stays sort of it plateaus a bit, and then this gross beat here helps the melody drop in energy before we come into this last chorus. And I've done a lot of the same things with the vocals. In the vocals, I've done the same EQ. I've sort of cut out all the higher frequencies in the beginning and also in a few points throughout the song, as well as some delay and reverb into the last chorus to give it a bit more energy. Also, right in the beginning, you'll hear some ambience. So I've got a riser, some train ambience, and vinyl crackle. And the idea of that was just to, again, because the judges were going to be hearing the same a cappella over and over again, to have this little intro would break it up a lot and sort of grab their attention and make them listen to actually what was about to happen. And outside of that, before we get into the meat of the track, we have a riser. We actually have 3 risers. So I have this riser, which builds us right up into the beginning. We have this riser. It's not playing right now. And we have the sub riser as well. And these are automated so that the pan goes from left to right, so it's like a whooshing, like past you. As well as the sub, there's a few like different effects to make it rise and sort of like transition at the same time. And all those together sound like this. So you hear it sort of whoosh past. And underneath the melody and the a cappella, it sounds really great. I like the effect that it has. So now moving into the first chorus, we first have the bass. And that just loops. You might not be able to hear that on a phone speaker because it is so low, but yeah, there's that element. We have the clap. We have a snare. And we have hi-hats. We also have dotted throughout the song is this ding that I really like. It's ear candy. You might not have heard it if you listen to the actual song. It was sort of in your subconscious, but I really like the sound of it and I like the effect that it has. I think layered underneath everything, it sounds sick. And this is in the first half of the chorus. It's pretty simple, but again, we have some rises and I have a drum fill down here that sort of transitions us into the second half of the chorus, which has more energy. So all together. And here we have a few rises again to sort of build us up into the second half of the chorus. They're very quick and very subtle, but it just adds that element, as well as this drum fill that I really like and I'm really glad that I put in. And you might not realize it's in there either. I just like adding a few of these little things to sort of build and take energy away. And underneath the whole mix, it sounds sick. Like more than enough time to decide. Conversations I can never get enough. And in the second half of this chorus here, we've got an 808 that just thumps, and I've sort of cut out every second low note of that the bass, which is just basically it's just a pitch down guitar. So yeah, this 808 sounds sick. I've cut out every second low note and replace it with this 808 because it just hits harder, and it's great for the chorus. Very distorted, very loud in the mix. And yeah, altogether. Oh, and I added this kick as well, which is very basic. It just follows the 808 pattern. So yeah, altogether. Conversations I can never get enough, so pulled away every time I ever tumble. Silence aching my bones with you. Try me, sending good luck. So in the beginning, we have a very low energy vibe, which immediately jumps into one of the highest energy parts of the track, which is the chorus. And then straight away, we have a huge dip in energy. And I just love the sound that effect that the bell has. It sort of echoes. And we slowly start building back up. And you sort of feel like we're going back into another chorus, but we're not, it's just into the verse. And then we're building, here comes the rises again. And we drop back into it. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, the hi-hat pattern for the chorus is slightly different. For every other part of the song, it's just a simple two-step, but for the actual chorus, there's some rolls and some stutters, which I think add a little bit more energy to the chorus as well. Never get enough, so pulled away every time I ever tumble. And for the second verse here, just some cool arrangement stuff. I've thinned out the guitar sound once again, and I've also put in this drum fill halfway through the verse to sort of give it a little bit of energy, because it's a longer verse than the previous one, and we want to keep the listener interested and not get bored. And I've also got some instruments cut out to give it that extra anticipation, but we don't want to give them the chorus just yet. And then as soon as it starts to thicken back out again, we go into the really low energy gross beat before the second really big chorus. It's building. Still building. Come the rises. And we've got a lot of reverb, some delay on the vocal to make it sound really big. And then it just echoes out into nothingness. Half speeds on that guitar, really mellow it out, really send it off. And yeah, that's it. I'm really proud of the way I dealt with the energy of the track, and the arrangement is what I was most proud of. And because the chorus absolutely slaps. Like, I don't think I've made a catchier beat. So yeah, for where I am and my producing experience, I'm super duper proud with how this turned out. The full song will be linked in the description. Yeah, thanks for watching and enjoy. Conversations I can never get enough, so pulled away every time